Okay. Live. Number 48, YouTube yoga routine. So we're going to continue the strength, mental strength routine. All routines, you're getting mental strength, but this one is focusing more on mental strength because the physical poses are involving strength. And the strength is coming from everywhere in the body, and the firmness and so forth and so on, but it's coming from the core. And during these poses, you're going to keep the core engaged, the abs engaged. So you're not sucking in the belly, you're engaging the abs. So that's how you're going to think about it. Let the energy of strength occur. And this energy of strength, mental strength, not the physical strength. The physical strength is part of it, but the mental strength, that's what you're going to take off the mat. That's what we call taking it off the mat and being strong throughout the day. So that's how you apply what you're learning on the yoga mat in the real world, or the so-called real world. And we're going to add, I'm going to add the dolphin pose. And I'll explain the dolphin pose, but just keep the abs engaged during the dolphin pose. And the reason I'm doing that is because with the plank and with the warrior 2 and 1 involves the arms and the shoulders. So I want to focus on that too. So let's go ahead and begin. We're in mountain pose. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches one at a time. Hips are tilted. Knees are slightly bent. No tension in the arms, no tension in the shoulders. And then you're thinking of yourself as being tall, so lengthen up. I go like this. I don't know if you can see my hand. I'm just pulling myself up. Mentally, I'm feeling, hey, I'm gonna lengthen up. Like there's a string pulling me up. One day I'll get a better camera angle and maybe 2 cameras, but that's way far down the line. First, I'm focusing on getting a mic. And with the mountain pose, you're focusing on the breathing, and you're doing that throughout the yoga routine. So you always have to focus on the breathing. Your mind will wander, but you just gently bring your awareness back to the breathing. And when you're focused on the breathing, that makes you aware of the movements of your body, what you're feeling in your body, and just heightens your awareness. But you're not focused on those things, you're focused on the breathing. So you can bring the palms together, thumbs go to the heart center. Now all I'm going to do is go up, my hands go out of the camera, the frame of the camera, so my palms are together. In the prayer, symbolic prayer, hand gesture. So push the arms out, up and back. Inhale, exhale. As you exhale, hinge forward from the lower back. Palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're pulling yourself in and down. It's only the second bend. So just listen to the body. Don't go past the part, don't go past the point of where you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot. Find the spot where you think, man, I shouldn't go any further. Settle in that spot. Accept where you are. Don't judge it. And just focus on the breathing. The palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. With the low lunge, the top of the foot to the floor and knees to the floor. Hips are square and they're pushing forward diagonally. Make sure the knee's not over the toe too much or at all. But if it is, just lengthen up some. The palms are to the floor, maybe you're to your fingertips, maybe you're up, maybe you're even leaning because you're feeling it in your lower back and you can't go. But if this is where you are, that's where you are. But you're not focused on that. You're aware of it, but you're just focused on the breathing. This is how the yoga routine becomes a moving meditation. Focus on the breathing, aware of the body, of the movements. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge. We're not going to stay in the high lunge. We'll just settle here, then move into the downward dog. Downward dog, the arms are straight, legs are straight, heels are towards the floor, or they're into the floor, tailbones to the ceiling. No tension in the neck, so the head is dangling. And just focus on the breathing. Again, you're finding that spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, accept where you are, and just focus on the breathing. The mind and body are connecting. You're doing yoga. That is yoga. Doesn't matter where you feel like you should be. If your mind and body's connecting, you're doing yoga. Then you slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest. You slide up. Technically, with the upper dog, tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. And if you need to modify it, you go down to the small cobra. Now, with the small cobra, you're pulling up. Your palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're not pushing up. You're pulling up. That's for the back. Now, with the back, they're pull muscles. So that's why you're pulling up. Back to downward dog. Pushing into it, finding that spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Settle there, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. You're going to bring the left foot up between the hands. That's the foot that you took back. So that's the foot that you bring up. So you can do the other side. So top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Square up the hips, foot pushing forward diagonally. Now you're to your palms or your fingers. Again, or you're just like this. For me, I'm just to my fingertips for now. I'm extremely tight on this side, always. Not always. Once I loosen up, then I go down to my palms. But that all comes along. Settle here. I just focus on the breathing. On the yoga mat, what you're learning is acceptance. That's why you settle on the pose. Accept it wherever you go, whatever you feel like you should do or what you should do. Accept where you are. You're taking that mindset off the yoga mat as well. So now we're going to do the high lunge. With the high lunge, curl the toes under, knee goes up. We're not going to stay in the high lunge. We'll settle here. Then we move into the standing forward bend. The standing forward bend, you pull yourself in and down, palms into the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. And you're letting yourself breathe. In this pose, when you inhale, the belly expands, so it pushes you out of the pose just slightly. And then when you exhale, you go back into the pose because the belly goes in. It's a subtle movement, but you're aware of the movement. You're not focused on the movement, you're just aware of it. And you're focusing on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. One more sun salutation, inhale. Exhale. Pull yourself in and down, standing forward bend. Let yourself breathe and just focus on the breathing. Now for me, I'm starting to think, hey, this is why it's important to have a mic in my ear so you can hear me better than when I'm up. I mean, you can still hear me, but you see, now I'm not doing yoga because that's what I'm thinking. Let me just focus on the breathing. Accept it. Now, palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. The low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight. Maybe the back is arched a little bit. Making sure the knee's not over the toe. And if it is, you want to lengthen up. You still want to listen to your body. So maybe the knee has to go over the toe because you're tight somewhere or you're injured somewhere. You're to your palms or to your fingertips or you're just up. Just find a spot where you should be, settle in it, and focus on breathing. You're accepting where you are. Essentially accepting who you are. You're gaining this mindset on the yoga mat of acceptance and taking that mindset off the yoga mat into the so-called real world. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, subtle here. We're not even saying it. We're just using it as a transition pose. And then downward dog. Pushing into it, arms are straight, legs are straight, heels are towards the floor, or they're into the floor, tailbones to the ceiling. No tension in the neck. Finding that spot where you shouldn't go any further. Settle there, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. Then slide into the upper dog or modify it how you have to. You drop down to the knees and the chest, you slide up. Or do the small cobra, or maybe you're just to your hands and knees. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are is where you are. You're accepting it, focusing on the breathing. That focus is what allows the mind and body to become one. If that's happening, you're doing yoga. Back to downward dog. Pushing into it. Left foot is up between the hands. Low lunge with the low lunge. Top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight or maybe arched. Do what you can. Pop, you going down to the palms, or your fingertips, or you're just coming up. Finding the spot that works for you, accepting it, and then focusing on the breathing. And for me, I was here initially, the first sun salutation, now further down. I'll just settle here. If we were doing more, I would eventually go down, but we're just doing 2 sun salutations today. Back foot, curl toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, settle here. Then move into standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down, let yourself breathe. Focus on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back. Inhale. Turn the palms out, push the air down and out. Exhale. You're going to go to the mountain pose. Again, the mountain pose, spread the toes. You know, when you bring the toes up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted. No tension in the arms. Finding that spot where you're lengthened. Get yourself tall. And the skeleton is just standing. And just focus on the breathing. Tell you what, it's nice out. I have the door open right here. Looks like it might rain. That little crisp rain smell. There's a bird somewhere going choo choo choo. No, I didn't do the bird any justice, but that's what it's doing, something like that. So we're going to do the warrior 2 and the warrior 1. And within the warrior, but we're going to do the downward dog, a plank, and then the dolphin. Oh, and the child pose, just for the lower back, mainly the lower back. So these are the strength poses that I was talking about in the beginning, that you're getting the mindset of strength, and you're getting firm, not because you can do the poses, but you're getting that firmness mentally, and that's what you're going to take off the mat. Just like how we're learning acceptance, you take that off the mat. You apply that in the real world. Well, same with the strength, mental strength. So the left foot is at the front of the mat in the center. I'm going to line the heel of the front foot into the arch of the back foot. So the back foot is turned slightly. Now, if you need more balance, just bring your foot out. Whoa, see? That wasn't more balance for me, but bring it out. But if not, that's what you're going to do. So now you want to make sure you're lengthened up. So when you sink down, the front knee doesn't go over the toe. Or if it does, it doesn't go over the toe too much. So arms go up. So think of the back arm, get it parallel to the floor. Left arm is up, and you're going to sink straight down. So when you're going down, the front leg bends, back leg is straight. So again, think of the back arm, get it parallel to the floor. Do the best you can. You're going to settle in the pose, accept where you are. For me, my right lat is tight from working out yesterday. Actually, it hurts a little bit, so I'm aware of that. But technically, I'm going to focus on the breathing, be aware of it, but not focus on it. It's not going to control, be part of what I'm doing. It's just awareness. We won't stay here long, so you sink down a little bit more. Now, warrior 1, we did that's warrior 2. So warrior 1, going to rotate the shoulders. Again, if you need to bring the right foot out some, for better balance, that's what you do. Square up the shoulders, and you're reaching up. So they're out like this, or you can go like this. Some people go like that. Whatever you want to do. So this is why it's called the Exalted Warrior when I was first learning yoga about 20 years ago. So arms are straight, fingers wide as you can get them. We won't stay here long. Reaching up, gaining the mindset of strength. It's coming from the core. So keep the abs engaged, reaching up. Now palms go down. Downward dog. Pushing into it. Now you can do the other side. So the right foot comes up. If you're not on the other side, bring up the other foot. Make sure you're doing the other side. So the right foot is at the front of the mat in the center. The back foot is as far as you can get it back, still being comfortable. So when you're going straight down, back leg is straight, front leg is bent. Make sure the knee's not going over the toe. If the knee's going over the toe, you need to lengthen up. So think of the back arm. Get the arm parallel to the floor. And then you're going to sink straight down. So front leg bends, Back leg is straight. Try to get the arms parallel to the floor if you can. Now for me, I'm thinking, okay, hey, my back arm is way better when I was doing it this way. I'm aware of that, but I'm not focused on that. Again, you're focusing on the breathing, which makes you aware of the movements, makes you aware of the bird outside, or the smell of the air. It heightens your awareness. That's the goal. So you're sinking straight down, kind of bent a little bit. When I start talking, I don't do the poses as good as I could. Still wouldn't be perfect. Supposedly perfect. Now rotate the arms, square up the shoulders. Exalted warrior or warrior one, reaching up. You can bring them together or out. I was taught to go out. That's still what I do. I don't have to. This is what I choose to do. So palms down to the front. Downward dog. Pushing into it. Then hands and knees. Flatten the feet. Space out the knees. Keep the hands where they are. Extended child pose. Now with this extended child pose or the full child pose, the knees are spaced out so the belly can breathe. Well, the belly can breathe. So the belly can go up and down. If the knees are together, the belly's pushing down into the knees. And it's difficult for it to go up and down. So this is why the knees are spaced out. Now, think of your fingers. Keep the butt down. This is why I need a mic, a Bluetooth mic. So I'm talking into the floor. Walk yourself out with fingers. Keep the butt down, sinking into it. And just settle into it. Now, full child pose. Fix my pants leg. Creases digging into my knee. See, I was focused, I was aware of it, then I started focusing on it, on my knee. I need to focus on my breathing. Now back to hands and knees. Curl the toes under, knees go hip width apart. Now technically you're gonna have the fingers as wide as you can get them, middle fingers point straight out. In class, I usually don't say that because too many details will make somebody not take your class. So knees are hip width apart, toes are curled under, pushing yourself up and back into the downward dog. Now with this downward dog, it's the same as within the sun salutations, but it's kind of by itself. So you want to focus on it. Focus on the breathing, aware of what the body's doing, and you're pushing into it. You're still pushing to the spot where you feel like you shouldn't go any further, but maybe you're going a little bit more than I don't know, a little bit further than you really think you could. And you could do it. And you know you can do it. You find that spot. You get to the spot where, man, I don't think I should go any more. And then you think, you know what, I can go a little bit more. You stay there. Accept where you are. Maybe you're not doing what you think you should be doing. That's fine. That's what you're learning. Acceptance. Then, hands and knees. And we're going to do the same thing, almost the same thing. This is the dolphin, similar to the downward dog. But you go down to the elbows, palms together, pushing up. We won't stay here long. Pushing up and back. Now with the dolphin, you're pushing the palms together, spacing out the shoulder blades. So palms are pushed together, shoulder blades are spacing out, so they're going to the sides. And then back to hands and knees, so bring the knees down, hands to the floor. Of course, the hands are to the floor. Downward dog, pushing into it. I need to get my phone, stopwatch. I started thinking about that in the Dolphin. I was like, man, I don't have my phone. I don't know if it's called a stopwatch anymore. Maybe that's from the 80s. Oh yeah, it's called a stopwatch. It says it right there. So now you're going to go into a plank. We're going to do a minute plank. Modify the plank how you have to. Abs are engaged. So the belly button is going into the spine. If you need to modify it, you go down to the knees, or maybe you push back. Whatever you can do. And whatever you're doing, make sure the belly button's into the spine. The abs are engaged. So that's the strength that I'm referring to in the beginning. That's the mental strength. That's where the strength is coming from, the abs. So it doesn't matter if you're doing the so-called perfect textbook pose of the plank. Wherever you are, the strength is coming from the core. So the abs are engaged. And you're still breathing. Just because the abs are engaged doesn't mean you don't breathe. And then hands and knees. Knees go down, flatten the feet, extend the child pose, keep the hands where they are, sitting back on the heels. Now you're just focusing on the lower back. The plank can be hard on the lower back, so just focus on it. Then just move the hands over to the right a little bit, or as far as you can. Sink into it. Feel it in the left side, maybe even in your lat. And just focus on it. And then let's move over to the left side. Move your pillow out the way if you have a pillow. Okay, nobody has a pillow. Nobody's even watching this video, probably. Not probably, most likely. And then back to extended child pose. Back to hands and knees. Keep on getting a piece of dirt. So with the hands and knees, fingers as wide as you can get them. Toes are curled under, knees are hip apart. We're going to go into downward dog. Focus on the breathing. Really pushing into it this time. Should feel a little bit easier. If you ever want to make the downward dog feel a little bit more easier, I don't know if that's how you say it, but if you want to make it feel easier, you do the dolphin, you do the downward dog, then you do the dolphin, then do the downward dog again, and it just makes it feel easier. Then you're going to go down hands and knees. Down to the elbows for the dolphin, palms together. Just like the downward dog, you push yourself up and back. Palms are pushing. The shoulder blades are spacing out. And you're focused on the breathing. Now, wherever you are, push the palms a little bit more. Space out the shoulder blades. Back to hands and knees. Downward dog. Pushing into it. We won't stay here long, so just push into it. And then we're going to go into the 1 minute plank. So go into the plank. If you need to modify it, if you need to go down to the knees, that's what you do. Belly button's engaged. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're just going into the child pose because it's been too much on your low back. Doesn't matter. No matter how you're modifying this, make sure the abs are engaged. That's the strength. The strength I was talking about in the beginning. It's not about how difficult the pose is. It's how much strength you can feel. And that's the mental strength that I'm referring to. You have 15 more seconds. Man, I'm telling you, it's nice outside. Crisp air. Sounds like rain. Reminds me of Virginia. Virginia used to rain. It's still on the porch, watch the rain. So down the hands and knees, flatten the feet, space out the knees, sitting back on the heels. Keep the hands where they are. Just focus on the breathing. And then use the fingers, walk yourself to the right side, still reaching out. So use your fingers, pull yourself out, sitting back on the butt, keep the butt down. Focusing on the breathing, aware of the stretch in the left side of the back, maybe in your lat, maybe you feel it in your neck. No telling where you feel it. But just be aware of those spots. Don't focus on those spots. And now you're going to move to the other side. Use your fingers, walk yourself out, sinking down into it. Thinking of the lower back, but you're focused on the breathing. And then back to the regular extended child pose. Then you're going to go hands and knees, curl the toes under, knees are hip width apart, sitting back on the heels. Keep the toes curled under. Awareness is on the breathing. And bring yourself up, flatten the feet. Thunderbolt pose, prayer pose. Just focus on the breathing. You're going to lean to the left, and then you're going to go to easy pose. First, bring your legs out, Shikasana, then easy pose. Now, with the easy pose, I'm going to move up, so I'm being in front of the camera. But if you have the mat, you're just going to stay where you were. Doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where I'm at either. Yes. So back and straight. Hands are to your knees. Now we're just settling down. You just focus on the breathing. So the back is straight, head is straight, neck is straight. Lengthening up. Now the hands are to your knees or maybe in your lap. Maybe you're sitting back because it's been too much. A little bit. Maybe the right knee's up. Whatever you need to do, that's what you do. You accept where you are. Focus on the breathing. Now, here, we're just watching ourselves breathe. So you're just watching yourself breathe. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And you're watching yourself breathe because you're already breathing automatically. So you're letting go of the mindset of control, not controlling the breathing. You're letting yourself just breathe however you're going to breathe, and you're watching it. And to watch it, bring your focus to the belly. The belly goes out. When you inhale, it goes in. When you exhale, just watch that. Or bring your focus to the tip of the nose. And just watch the air go in and out. And reach behind you for the yoga seal. Grab the left wrist with the right hand. leaning forward, and the forehead's going down towards the floor. You're sealing in all the benefits of the yoga poses and keeping the peace that you gained through the rest of the day. Bring yourself back up. Hands go back in front. And we're just going to stay here just a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe. Don't control it. Just watch it. You'll catch yourself controlling it. Then when you do, just say, hey. And then just start watching it again. Don't judge it. Breathe palms together. Namaste. That's it. So, the smell of rain is outside right now. It's actually nice, and there's some bird. I don't know where he's at, or she. I don't know. But now I hear a cricket. Man, I can make my own music. But you probably can't hear the cricket. Listen. Oh, he stops. That's usually how it happens. Oh, really? He stopped again. He's probably watching me somewhere. He knows what I'm doing. Anyways, so I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.